Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there. Follow me across all my social media platforms or talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. With that said and done and put to the side, I've come to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets extending John FranklinMyers. We keeping him a Jet, man. We're keeping him a Jet for some time, all right? Listen, I'm hyped about this move. And this really, again, continues to show that JD has a plan. Joe Douglas, our general manager, has made some very solid moves. You look at him bringing in Quincy Williams, who's, we see what that guy's doing out there is crazy. You look at him, other trade, he's made great trades as well. Got rid of Chris Herndon for a fourth rounder. That was crazy. Chris Herndon had never done anything here. And now we see him keeping a guy that clearly has potential and is showing us game after game after game that he could end up being the goods for the New York Jets. So let's get to the extension numbers first and why I'm so hyped about this situation. The numbers for the extension is they were able to sign John FranklinMyers to a 4-year, $50 million deal, but it's $30 million guaranteed. So when I look at these deals and these numbers that come out, I generally look at the guaranteed money first, right? Because that's the set in stone. I know he's getting that. That's done. So the $30 million over 4 years, I know it could be paid out, differently. Again, the information on that isn't available to anyone yet, but it's $7.5 million a year. That's solid to me. That's extremely solid for a guy that is showing us immense talent. You go back and you watch that Titans game. John FranklinMyers was putting things together, okay? He was out there putting things together, and this defense was rolling that game, and he was a big-time contributor to that. We got John FranklinMyers in 2019 off of waivers, and this guy has done nothing but good here. He really has done nothing but good, and especially when Carl Lawson originally went down, the first thing we were screaming was, okay, we lost a big-time pass rusher, but we still got Huff. We still got Mosley. We still got John FranklinMyers. John FranklinMyers is a guy that's immediately going to come on. He was one of the first names we were mentioning. He's a guy that's going to step up. He's a guy that's going to be able to put things together. And again, we've seen him really do things. Now, I want to talk about how smart Joe Douglas was in making this move. And the first thing I want to talk about is the money, right? When you look at this situation, you look at a guy like John FranklinMyers, could be walking into free agency. Signing him early and keeping him here does what? Gets Joe Douglas the lowest price at this point, and it also keeps him from bidding against teams in free agency, driving that price through the roof and possibly having to pay the Jets tax. Let me break that down. We've seen players in the past, right, go into free agency, pass rushers in particular, go into free agency and get paid buckets load of money. Whoa, I'm talking about way more than most people thought. We've seen players at other positions go into free agency and just get way more money than anybody thought that they would. We've seen below average pass rushers go into free agency and get bucket loads of money just based off of potential, right? How many times have we seen that? Well, he really didn't pan at the team that he was playing for, but don't worry about it. He's still athletic. He still got skill. He'll land on with the next team, and he'll definitely get his sack numbers together. We've seen that, and we've seen those guys do what? Go to those other places and never really pan out or never really be worth the type of cash that you're giving them, right? So what this does, it completely eliminates being put in that situation. It completely eliminates that Jets tax, and it completely eliminates you possibly as well losing a quality guy in free agency because he decides to go with a team that's in a better situation. Let me tell you something. If you're John FranklinMyers, and I love the Jets, I know we all do, but if you're John FranklinMyers and the Chiefs come knocking at your door and say, hey, we've got a deal as well. How much are the Jets offering you? We'll do $1 million more. Come on and come play with Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. Get coached by Andy Reid, you got a chance to win a Super Bowl. Most players will walk away. We've seen that in the past. We've seen players, free agents that we covet, that we want to keep, walk away and go to teams because they want to compete. We just got rid of Jamal Adams because he didn't want to be here and he wanted to go to a competitor and do all those things, right? So keeping this guy here, keeping a guy that is immensely talented is huge for us. And another reason why it's huge for us is what? We're in a rebuilding situation. We need to keep as much talent in the fold as we possibly can because you're trying to accumulate those building blocks so that you can push forward and get better, okay? What this does, it cements him as a guy that's going to be here for the future, for us to keep building with and keep adding on to. Carl Lawson is going to come back, hopefully next season. We'll see how he comes back from the injury. You know, with all the things that's going on in medicine now and how quickly, you know, players can kind of rebound from torn ACLs or, you know, torn Achilles or all those things. It's crazy, right? So we'll see what kind of shape he comes back in, if he's fully ready to go, fully healed, fully ready. But we know we got John FranklinMyers. We'll get Carl Lawson back next season. And then guess what? You can add another young pass rusher, a Thibodeau or whoever it is in the draft. Or say you go into free agency and you grab yourself another guy. This defense becomes even more deadly. But keeping John FranklinMyers here and making sure that you have that talent for sure, rock solid on the roster, that's huge for us. You get nothing but a thumbs up for that. Nothing but a thumbs up for that, JD, because you get to keep a guy, young, talented, young guy that has shown you that he can put it together. He's a building block, man. He's a building block. And like I said, you add a rookie pass rusher with Carl Lawson, whoo, this is going to be a day. And we got Huff and Quincy Williams and all those guys. It's going to be insane. Our defense will become insane. Another thing that this does as well, it builds culture with the team too. You look at John FranklinMyers, when you listen to, you know, Coach Sulla or you hear anything, you hear nothing but positive things about this guy. This guy's a locker room guy. This is a guy that has a nonstop motor. He doesn't quit, you know, no issues. Comes in with his lunch pail and his hard hat and he works his butt off week in and week out. No issues. He's a guy that you can build that culture with, that culture that we've longed for so long. That culture where we're all in it together, we're buying in. He's one of those guys. This also completely kills the stigma, and well, it does a lot to work against the stigma of the Jets being able to keep their own. That's been a big thing too. Hell, we were just dealing with that with Marcus May, right? Immediately, what is the first thing that Marcus May's agent was saying? The Jets don't ever keep their own guys. They're always getting rid of guys that play hard for them and do all these things. And that is the narrative that you started to see throughout the media. Oh, the Jets don't know how to keep their guys. They draft them and then their guys always go somewhere else. Well, this starts to break that stigma. If you come here, you work hard and you play hard and you be a Jet through and through, you bleed that green and you show us that on the field and you put it together, you're going to stay a Jet, dog. That bodes well for the locker room because other guys that are coming up with deals, Quinton Williams, like I said, there's other guys on the team as well. Their time's coming up. Listen, they're going to be like, you know what, JD's putting it together for me, and if I go out there and I play hard and I play to the wall and I give it everything that I got, then I'm going to stay a Jet. That's huge. That's huge, man. That's really huge. So salutes to the Jets. Salutes to JD for getting this done, really, because this is a guy that needs to stay a Jet. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you feel about this extension? What are your thoughts about, you know, keeping John FranklinMyers a Jet? How do you feel about this? I want to hear from you. I want to go back and forth with you folks. So you folks have a good one. Peace.